Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a man that is currently staying here in Ireland. I came here because of peer pressure. My wife, she was a registered nurse when we were still in Zim, and then she started working for Zimra. So I was also working for Zimra when I was still back home in Zim. So me and my wife, we used to make a lot of deals, and we were able to buy a lot of properties in Harare. So we had a lot of tenants each and every month. The money that we would put on the table just from the businesses that we owned, it was $5,000, and because of the hustle that we used to do, we would put another $5,000 on the table each and every month without counting our salaries. So me and my wife, we never rested. The person that would be on his or on her off, she was supposed to take the car, drive to town so that you can sell some merchandise. That is how we used to make money when we were still in Zim, me and my wife. So it was like each and every month, me and my wife, we could buy a residential stand, and then we could build a house, put some rooms, and then we can get some tenants. That was the goal that me and my wife always had ever since we started all of these businesses. We wanted a better future for our kids. So my wife then had some challenges. She started to tell me that since all of her friends, they were now in Europe, she was feeling lonely, and she was feeling so much pressure just knowing that all of her friends, they were now in Europe. She also wanted to take pictures in the snow to show people that she is in Europe, and it seems as if she has made it in life. I tried to tell my wife that even those that are in Europe, they are not making as much money as we are making, because come to think of it, as a couple, you are making $10,000 each and every month. Where are you supposed to go to if you are making so much money in your own country, living comfortably? And my wife then said that, please just let me go, I have to go to Europe. So I tried to tell my wife that this was a bad move, until she said, well, if you do not want to go to Europe, then let me go on my own, whilst you make your own decisions. So Brother Nashi, that was when I was forced by my wife to do a caregiving, a nurse aid course. I did the nurse aid course. My wife, since she was already a nurse, she then came here and she started working as a caregiver. I then followed my wife. Soon after that, we paid the agents all the money that was needed. After we had paid the agent, and then I migrated from Zim and I came to Ireland, we then started working together. But now I am having a mental breakdown because of some of the things that I am experiencing in my life. Me and my wife, we do not have peace anymore. We used to be a very happy couple when we were still in Zim. We still had a life that was so beautiful, and our kids, they were happy. But now that we are in Ireland, it is constant fighting. Each and every day we have to argue about something, and the root of the problem is that my wife has since refused to go to Africa to go back with me. She is saying that it is far much better that we go on a separation. My wife, she has chosen Ireland over her marriage, and it seems as if she is being given bad advice by all of her friends that are all over Europe. So this is why I have come here, because I need your listeners to give me advice as a man. What am I supposed to do? My wife has told me that she does not want to go with me back to Zim. She will never do that. It is far much better that we have a separation. When you post my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. My heart is filled with so much regret, and my heart is filled with so much pain, and the loneliness that I have been facing here in Ireland, it is very painful for me. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us try to speak with our dear brother in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to me by our dear sister. The message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a Zimbabwean woman and I am currently staying here in South Africa. I am in a polygamous marriage, and this is what happened in order for me to become the second wife. I started dating this other man who is very wealthy, who became my husband. At that time, I was busy building back home in Zim. I was just working as a maid, and the money that I was making, it was never going to be enough to cover the bills that I was supposed to cover. I then said, let me find a boyfriend, someone that has a car, because what I would do, I would go to Messina and then I would buy some building supplies and I would put them on the Malaysia cars and they would take it to my parents and they will continue with the building project. So I needed a boyfriend that had a vehicle that would take me to Messina now and then. So when I started to date this rich guy, he would send his driver. The driver would even go to Zim with those building supplies. My parents, they were so excited when I told them that their in-law was filthy rich. I did not even know that he was a married guy because he tried by all means to never show it to me that he was a married guy. I then returned back home for some holidays, and when I was in Zim, I then went to this other prophet and I spoke with that prophet and I told the prophet that I wanted help, and the prophet, when he was looking at me, he then said, I feel so sorry for you. Don't you know that the man that you are dating, he is a married guy? I was so shocked, even though I used to suspect that maybe he is married, because with all the money that he had, it was very impossible to find a guy who is not in a relationship with the money that he had. I then said, so what am I supposed to do? He told me that he wanted to do a prayer for me, in which he did. He told me to call the name of my husband's first wife whenever I would be bathing. I did as I had been instructed, and then I had a weird dream. I saw my husband's first wife. She came with a grandmother. The grandmother was like her ancestor, and she was very mad. She was like, why did you call my granddaughter? Who gave you the authority to call her in your dreams? And then she was scared of the prophet, because the prophet was standing right next to me, and the prophet took the holy water and started sprinkling the holy water on all of us so that we can get along with each other. Fast forward, I then had another dream. I saw that we were now in another country. In this country where we were, it was so beautiful. There was green grass everywhere, and we were having a picnic. It was me, my husband's first wife, and her ancestor, the grandmother. She was seated right next to us, and we will be having a very beautiful meal on the picnic that we had. I then returned back to South Africa. When I came to South Africa, I received a phone call from that woman. I was like, oh God, so this means that now she is going to fight with me. To my surprise, she told me that she totally understands me, and she understands that I love her husband, and therefore she is willing to accept me into the family as the second wife. I thought that maybe she was joking, but no, she is not joking. Me and him, we really like each other. She is older than I am, because we once had an introduction, and my husband was the one who said that it is time for you two guys to meet each other, and we met, and she is such a wonderful person. So the money that our husband has, it is a lot of money. Right now, she is suggesting that I am supposed to come and stay with them at their family house, but I'm really scared. As for the jealousy, there is no jealousy between me and the first wife. When my husband is with me, sometimes because of the money, she can go on the plane and she can go to Cape Town just for the weekend to have some fun, and then she would return back to Joburg. She also told me to do the same, because it is like we have duties, and our husband, he can spend a week at my place and spend another week at the first wife's place. So she told me that whenever my husband is not around, when I am feeling lonely, she wants me to go out to a hotel, stay in a hotel, have a nice time whilst I am just relieving the stress that I will be having. And she is very jealous because she said to me, you and I, we are now sharing the same manhood. So if it goes out there and gets some disease, it is going to give me that disease. And if you go out there to get some disease, you will also give me the same disease. So I want you to take care of yourself, not to cheat on our husband, since he is a great provider. And honestly speaking, I have no intentions whatsoever, because this man is loaded with money. The things that he has done for my family, no man can ever do such a thing like what this man did to me. So I will never ever cheat on him, no matter what. But I need advice from your listeners. Am I supposed to stay under the same roof with my husband's first wife, or should I refuse and continue staying on my own? And am I a bad person because of the things that I did, like using the holy water? Please, Brother Nash, when you post my story, tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our sister in the comment section. Then there is another message. The message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you, Brother Nashi? Can you please post my story as anonymous? I'm a South African woman and I always listen to your show every day, and I listen to your show when I am at work so that I can push time. So I have my own story that I want to share with you. This story of mine, it happened when I was in university. Back in those days, hey, life was so difficult for me. I do not want to lie, because my parents, they were poor. I came from a very poor background. And then I had this other friend of mine that I met when I was still in university. So we ended up even being roommates. She was someone that was nice, and she was also friendly. She was always friendly with me, and I really liked her. But she used to go out like each and every weekend. She was never at home. She would be with a different guy. I did not know that this friend of mine, what she would do is that she would go on Facebook and she would enter into these other groups where they were women that were selling off their bodies. So she will be on the group and she'll be like, I'm feeling bored today. Is there any men that want to spend some time with me? I'm in Pretoria. Then guys will be like a lot that would come on that post, and they'll start to comment, and she'll be like, you can come to my inbox or you can leave your WhatsApp number, then we can start to talk. She was also in a lot of groups. I even asked her, why is it that you have so much porn in your phone when you are a woman? So she would go into these groups where men would be downloading the porn in their WhatsApp groups, and then she will just start to talk with the men there, and the guys, they would book her for the night and she would get some money. We were never broke. Because of her, I was lacking in nothing in terms of food. I did not even have to worry about anything until she started to complain. She was like, you see, you also need to pull up your socks so that at least you can also contribute something like the way that I am contributing, so that it can be fair on me. I then said, I really do not know what else to do. I was dating this other guy. He was also a student and he did not have money. He would even come to eat at my place because he had never had any money. So he was like to me, you have to make a plan so that you can also make some money. So I then asked her, what was I supposed to do? She then told me that she was in a group, and in this group on Facebook, if you are a lady and if you are broke, you can just say that I'm looking for a man right now who wants the cookie, and I can give it to him for such a price. So I then got into that group. Then I started to sell my cookie. I registered a fake account that she assisted me with, and I started to post some pictures on on that fake profile, so that people, when they would see the profile, they will see that there are some nice pictures but not my own pictures. And I started selling myself on Facebook. That is how I became a prostitute whilst I was still in university. When I was working as a prostitute, I then came across this other guy who told me that he was a Nigerian guy. I was so scared. I was scared when I told my friend, and she said, go and be with him. All that matters is money. For the guy had told me that he was going to give me 1 point something only to spend a night with me. That was a lot, because the money that I used to get maybe per round was 100 rand, even less than 100 rand. So I then went to that guy's place and I slept with him. What happened in the middle of the night? I then started to hear that there was something that was moving in the wardrobe, because there were these big fitted wardrobes. And I said, what is moving there in the wardrobe? What is really happening here? And when I woke up, I then saw that the Nigerian blesser, he was no longer in bed with me. So I was so scared. And then there was no electricity. I don't know who just switched off the electricity. I screamed. And when I screamed, I heard the Nigerian complaining. He was like, what is it now? What is it? You are disturbing me. And he was in the wardrobe. He was the one that was making all of those movements. I did not even know that my Nigerian blesser had turned into a snake. So I grabbed my phone because I was still scared. I was like, what are you doing in the wardrobe? Why are you in the wardrobe? And then I took the phone and I switched on my torch. And when I switched on the flashlight, I then got out of bed and I walked slowly towards the wardrobe. And when I opened, I saw a big snake, the biggest snake that I had ever set my eyes upon in my entire life. It was like a big anaconda that was curled around this other clay pot that was inside that wardrobe. And this was the Nigerian man that I was with, for I had heard a voice that came out of that same wardrobe, and he just looked at me. The snake looked at me, it hissed, and then I found myself outside of the gate of that Nigerian. This was like 2 a.m. in the middle of the night when I found myself outside. His gate was locked. I had left my shoes in there. I was wearing a dress and my underwear was left inside. I wanted to bang on the gate, and then I saw that there were big dogs that were seated by the gate. There were 2 big black dogs that were just sitting, and they did not even see me. So I started walking slowly towards the gate. I was on the driveway when those dogs saw me, the way that they started barking. It was so scary. I then started running, and I ran, and each and every house, because this was like in the suburbs, every house, the dogs that kept on barking. I literally had to go and hide by the mall because there were dogs that came out when I was about to leave this other street. So there was a mall that was close by. I went there and I sat down until the security found me and asked me what had happened to me. I told him that this was what had happened. He said, "You're not the first girl. There was another girl who came here, but she was drunk. So when this girl came, we chased her away because we thought that maybe she was just drunk." And those security guards, they felt sorry for me. One even gave me a blanket, and I slept and I waited for the morning. And when it was in the morning, I then went back to the location where I was staying with my friend. I then told my friend everything that had happened to me when I was by the Nigerian guy's place. And then from that day going onwards, me and my best friend, we stopped prostituting ourselves on Facebook because of the things that I saw. To this very day, I don't know if that Nigerian guy ended up throwing away the underwear that I had, or if he kept my underwear. If he kept it, did he use it for rituals? What really happened, I don't know. And who helped me to wear the dress, because I was naked in bed when I saw that snake. But I then found myself outside of his property. I was wearing the same dress, but I did not have any shoes. I had my phone. Since I had gone to see him, I did not even have a handbag. So that's all that I had, my clothes, shoes, and my phone. But when I woke up, those things were missing. So I really need advice right now from your listeners. If there is anyone that wish to give me advice on this issue, like what do you think happened to me? When you post, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. If you are a young woman that is still in university, I know that things can be very tight for you right now wherever you are, but you just need to know that one day is one day. You're going to make it out and you're going to be okay. You do not have to worry about the things that you see, the things that you'll be looking at, all the pressures of you being in university. It will all come to pass. When you post, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with her in the comment section. She's saying that she is worried because she left her undergarment at that Nigerian guy's place. Strange things, they do happen in this world. Let us meet again in another episode.